जीवन स्मरणं गोविंद गोविंद। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। कलये सुन्दराकारं सदैव प्रियदर्शनम् अज्ञाननाशकं देवं सद्गुरुं मुरलीधरं मुरलीमण्डितकरकमलं मुनिजनमोहनं व्यत्यस्तपादं वनमालाधारिणं प्रेमभक्तमण्डल नित्यकीर्तितं श्रीप्रेमिकवरदम् आश्रयेऽहं गुरुवायुरप्पा शरणम्। By the immense grace of our Gurunatha, His Holiness Maharanyam Shri Shri Muralidhara Swamiji, by the Parama Kripa of Madhuri Saki Sameda Premika Varada Thakurji, by the grace of Punni Guruvayurappan, we are really blessed to learn and hear Krishna Katha. We have come to chapter number 21 today. This is the beautiful episode of Venu Geetam. अतैकविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीशुक उवाच। 10th canto, chapter number 21. इत्थं शरत् स्वच्छजलं पद्माकरसुगन्धिना न्यविशत् वायुना वातं स गोपालकोच्युतः कुसुमिदवनराजिषुष्मिभृङ्ग द्विजकुलगुष्टसरसरिन्महीद्रम् मधुपतिरवगाह्य चारयन् गाः सह पशुपालबलः चुकूजवेणुम्. The Sharat Kalam appeared, and Bhagavan with all his Gopa friends and with Balramji and all the cows, he entered the forests of Vrindavana. That Vrindavana, which is cooled by gentle breeze blowing over the surface of its clear lakes, which are filled with lotuses. And in this Vrindavana, there are beautiful flowering trees everywhere. There are lakes and streams and hills, and they are all resounding with the sound of the honey bees. There are lots of birds which are chirping everywhere and grazing the cattle. Bhagavan enters the forest along with Balramji, and he applied the flute to his lips. And as the divine nectar from his lips enters the holes of the flute as though starts vibrating. It's called Chukuda Venum. The flute starts playing by itself, it seems, as the Lord's lotus lips are sending the nectar to the holes of the flute. And so the flute starts vibrating with divine music. So they say it is called Chukuja Venum. Madhupati Ravagahya Charayan Gaha Saha Pashupala Balaha Chukuja Venum. तत्व्रजस्त्रिया श्रुत्य वेणुगीतं स्मरोदयं काश्चित् परोक्षं कृष्णस्य स्वसखीभ्यो अन्ववर्णयन्. Some of the gopis, they hear the sound of the flute from far away and they are immersed in love as they hear the love inspiring notes coming from the flute from a distance. And so they start describing it to their friends. But even as they are describing, they are unable to speak. They are overcome by intense love. And so they go into a samadhi nilai, and then they start describing the following slokas in their own beautiful words. So, tat varnaidumarabnaha smarantyah Krishna cheshtidam nashakan smaravegena vikshipta manasondrapa. As they start describing, they are overpowered by remembrance of the Lord and they are even unable to speak. And then they say this beautiful shloka which describes the form of Bhagavan. Our Shukamuni learned Bhagavatam from sage Veda Vyasa. Vyasji only taught 2 shlokas to sage Shuka. First, Shuka, who is immersed in Brahmajnanam, he was not really taking initiative to learn Bhagavatam. Then sage Shuka, sage Vyasa taught 2 shlokas to the children who are running around in the forest. And the 2 shlokas is one of them is this one. It shows the form of Bhagavan, the beautiful form of Krishna. And then the other shloka is the one that shows the Daya of Krishna. And when Shuka, as he was wandering in the forest, he heard the children chant this shloka, and then he got so immersed in Bhagavatam that he gave up his Brahma Dhyanam and he came to learn Bhagavatam, and then he narrated Bhagavatam to Parikshit. So this is a very auspicious, beautiful, powerful shloka. Varhapidam natavaravu karnayo karnikaram bibhratvasah kanakakapisham Vaijayantim Shamalam Rendran Venur Adhara Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrindai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishat Gita Kirtihi. So describing the beautiful form of Bhagavan, who has a very handsome appearance of a super dancer. Natavara Vapuhu, and he has the beautiful peacock feather. His favorite is the peacock feather. Bhagavan always wears the peacock feather. And then he has on his ears the beautiful Karnika flowers. And then he is wearing a beautiful Pitambara, which is of nice silk gold cloth. And then he has a wreath of Vaijayanti Mala. It is said that Bhagavan wears mala made of 5 kind of flowers or leaves, which are like the Tulasi, there is Kund, and then there is Mandara flowers, and then there is Parijata, and then there is lotuses. So the flowers, 5 kind of flowers, along with the Tulasi, they are all made together to form a beautiful Vaijayanti Mala, it seems. And so Bhagavan wears always the Vaijayanti Mala, and then dressed up so beautifully, Bhagavan starts filling the holes of the flute with the honey of his lips. The nectar flows from his lips and goes into the flutes, and then the beautiful flute starts vibrating and beautiful sounds emerge from the flute. And as he enters Vrindavana, he starts playing the flute like this. And so the gopis hearing the flute are mesmerized by the sounds. The other shloka which Shuka learned is this: Aho bakiyam stanakala kudam jigamsaya payat apyasadvi lebe gatim da truchitam tadonyam kamvadayalum sharanam vrajema. This was the shloka we saw in Putana episode. We mentioned that Bhagavan gave Sadgati to even that Putana who came with an intent to kill. The same Putana who gave milk but with an intent to kill, Bhagavan gave her the status as a mother. And so how much daya Bhagavan has. who else would we surrender to except that Krishna, who is so full of compassion, says Uddhava to Vidura. So again, coming back to Venu Geetam, our Bhagavan is so beautifully dressed and then wearing nice Pitambara and Vaijayanti Mala and peacock feather and holding the lovely flute in his lotus-like hands. Bhagavan starts playing the flute when all the children are all following him and they are looking at Krishna with so much wonder and awe. The women heard the sound of the flute, they began to describe it to each other. So, iti venuravam rajan sarvabhuda manoharam chutva vrajastriya sarva varnayantyo vire vire gopya uchuhu. The gopis are telling the very purpose of having eyes is to see Bhagavan. If we have, Bhagavan has bestowed us with beautiful limbs, we should be using them to serve Bhagavan. The purpose of having eyes to see the beauty of the form of Bhagavan. Akshan vada phalamidam na param vidamaha. There is nothing higher than this. There is no other job for the eye other than seeing the form of Krishna, who is wandering in the forest of Vrindavana along with his brother Balarama and all the other Gopa friends and the cows and playing the flute. The very purpose of having eyes is this, to see this form of Krishna. Akshan vadam phalamidam na param vidamaha. Sakya pashunanu viveshayaturvayasya Vaktram Brajesha Sutayoranu Jushtam Yairvani Pitam Anurakta Kataksha Moksham. And see the effect the flute had on all the different inhabitants of the forest. Chuta Pravala Barahasta Bakotpadabja Malanuprita Paridhana Vichitra Veshau Madhye Virejaturalam Pashupala Goshyam Rangeyata Natavadau Vachagayamanu. How Krishna Balram are standing, one wearing the yellow pitambara and one is wearing the blue cloth, and both of them dressed up with beautiful garlands and wearing tender mango leaves and decorations on their body with peacock feathers and wearing blue lotuses on their neck and holding lotuses in their hand. How beautiful this Krishna Balram look, and so how they are shining there. And the gopis are telling this to one another. The gopis always have satsangam and they narrate Krishna Katha to each other. And so then next shloka they say, Gopyaha kimacharadayam kushalam sma venuhu damodaradhara sudham api gopikana bhunte swayam yadavashishta rasam vidinyo krishyatvachoshru mumuchu taravoyatanya Gopyaha kimacharadayam kushalam sma venuhu. How blessed is this Venu? What tapas it must have done to get Krishna to hold this flute of always and play beautiful divine notes in the flute. What tapas and how much punya this flute must have done. We are also the relatives of this flute, thinking like this. The lakes, they also get attached to the relative, the flute, and when they hear the sound of the flute, the lakes show horripilations all over in the shape of beautiful lotuses blooming on their surfaces. And the trees, they are shedding so much nectar from their flowers. So the trees and lakes also have the effect of this sound of flute coming from the Lord, playing the divine notes. Then what about this beautiful place called Vrindavana? Vrindavanam Saki Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yadevaki Sudapadambujalabdha Lakshmi Govinda Venu Manumatta Mayur Nrityam Prekshadrisanva Paratanya Samasta Sattvam. This Vrindavana is so auspicious, and it is the most blessed place on this earth, because the lotus feet of the Lord are in it. The imprints of the lotus feet of Bhagavan are everywhere in Vrindavana, and the mountain valleys of Vrindavana are filled with all these creatures which are standing still, like as though in a picture. All the creatures are standing still. Some are looking at the beautiful darshan of Krishna Balram. Some are hearing the notes of the flute, and some are looking at the dances of the peacocks. The peacocks are dancing, hearing the sound of the flute. So how blessed is this land of Vrindavana, where even Mother Lakshmi does so much tapas to get a chance to have residence in Vrindavana. Such is the beautiful Vrindavana. What about the deer and the doe? How do they receive Bhagavan? Dhanyasma Muda Madayopi Harinyayeta Yananda Mupata Vichitra Vesham Akanya Venuranidam Saha Krishna Sara Pujam Dadur Virachidam Pranayavalokai. The doe is so fortunate, even though they are unintelligent by nature, on hearing the music from Krishna's flute, they receive beautiful Bhagavan and they offer worship with their doe-like eyes. They offer sincere worship from their hearts with their eyes, which are shedding love-soaked glances. They are offering that to Bhagavan as worship. So the doe are also mesmerized by the divine notes from Bhagavan playing the flute. And then the celestial women are all taking their spot high in the air and watching Bhagavan play the flute, and they are transported to another dimension where their heart is full of amorous sentiments, and they stop and they also come and hear the flute. Krishnam niriksha vanitotsavarupashilam Shrutva tatatkwani vichitra geetam Devyo Vimanagataya Smaranunasaraha Brashyat Prasuna Kabara Mumugurvinibhyaha. All the beautiful celestial women, their minds are getting so much attracted by the charm that Bhagavan is displaying, playing the flute. And so they were traveling in the skies, and they all come and take a spot right above Bhagavan to see and hear Bhagavan playing the flute. And what about the cows? What effect did the flute have on the cows? Gavascha Krishna Mukha Nirgata Venugita Piyushamutta Karna Kudaif Pibandhya Shavasnutanapaya Kabalasmatastuvu Govindamatmani Drishashrukalas Prishantya. Look at the cows. Their ears are uplifted as though they are drinking cups. Their ears are uplifted and they are imbibing the nectar from the flute with their ears. And lo, look at these cows. They were just grazing, and they had some grass, and then they had some milk from the mother cows. The milk is stuck in there and the grass is there, but they are unable to swallow the milk or chew the grass in their mouths. Suddenly, when the notes of the flute start playing, they are pinned to that very spot, and they are not able to swallow even that milk. And without them realizing, the tears of joy start flowing, and they look intently at the Lord, and they drink his beauty with his eyes, and they hear the sound with their uplifted ears, and this way the cows are also mesmerized, hearing the beautiful sound of the flute. Then what about the birds? Prayo batamba vihaga munayo vanesmin Krishne kshidam tadudidam kalavenu geetam आरुह्य द्रुमभुजान् रुचिरप्रवालान् शृण्वन्त्यमेलितदृशो विगतान्यवाचः. All these beautiful birds, they must be sages in disguise. Now they have taken the form of the birds, so they can run around wherever Krishna is playing in the forest. They also follow him and run around behind him. So these birds have taken their spots in the trees, and they are all perched themselves on the branches of trees, and then they get a full view of Krishna, and with their eyes wide open and their voices still. Usually the birds are always making sounds, and they're so active always. When they make sounds, they won't be able to hear the flute, so they keep quiet, and then they are hearing the flute with so much attention in a meditative manner. They hear the sound of the flute. So that is the state of the birds, who must be really sages in disguise. The gopis are narrating this to one another. Then what about the river? Nadyastada tadupadadya mukunda geetam आवर्तलक्षित मनोभव भग्नवेगा आलिङ्गनस्तगितभूर्मि भुजैर्मुरारेः गृह्णन्ति पादयुगलं कमलोपहाराः. And the river is not able to flow like usual. The river's speed is slackened. The river is also overcome by emotional love and emotion. So the river, as though with its wavy hands, it comes and hugs the lotus feet of Bhagavan and offers so many lotuses. So the river, with its offering of various lotus flowers brought in her wavy hands, she seems to embrace the Lord's feet, and she tightly holds the Lord in embrace. This is the state of the river. Its speed is reduced as she hears the river, sound of the flute. And then what about the clouds? Drishtva tape vraja pashun saharama gopaihi sancharayantam anuvenu mudirayantam prema pravriddha uditaha kusumavalibihi sakyurvyada swavapushamuda atapatram. So when seeing Krishna and Balarama roaming in the hot sun and playing their flutes, the cloud is feeling that I should also help them. The cloud is thinking, I also have something in common with Bhagavan. Bhagavan removes the suffering of all the people like that. I also remove the suffering of the people when I send gentle, cool shower of rain now and then. Therefore, the cloud also decides to give some coolness to Bhagavan as he's wandering in the hot sun. It sends gentle shower of rain, and so the cloud is doing seva to Bhagavan like this. Then the tribal women are in the forest doing their daily work, and when they are walking in the grass, they get some saffron, some kumkum that they find in the grass, and they take the kumkum and apply it to their bodies, and they feel immense love. Purnaha pulindya urugaya padabjaraga Shri kumkumena daitastana manditena Darshana smara rujastrana rushi tena limpatyanana kucheshu jahustadadim. The tribal women, they hear the sound of the flute, and they are so fortunate as they are roaming in the forest. They see the footmarks of Bhagavan, and those footmarks have little bit of saffron stuck in those, and these saffron are from the Lord's feet, but these saffron were originally on the Vakshasthala of the gopis. When the Lord had engaged in embraces with the gopis, the kumkuma got from them to the Lord, and now the Lord's feet have all the kumkum, and when the Lord is walking, those kumkum have fallen on the grass, and the tribal women taking this chinmayam kumkuma, they apply to their bodies and they feel immense loving emotion to Bhagavan. And like this, the women, tribal women are also blessed by the Venu, sound of the Venu Geetam. Then how about the Govardhan Parvat? Handaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayustayoryade Paniya Suyavasa Kandana Kandamulaini. The Govardhana Parvat is called Haridasa Varyo. The Govardhan Parvat is always doing seva to Bhagavan in some way or another. All the cows and calves, they graze in the beautiful lushy pastures on the Govardhana mountain. The Govardhana mountain provides the people with pure water, with green grass, with very, thick growth of vegetables and fruits. And there are beautiful streams in Govardhana Parvat, the Govind Kund, the Radha Kund. There is also Kusum Sarovar. Such lovely streams exist on the Govardhan Parvat, which provides all the needs of the children and all the cows and calves. So the Govardhana Parvat, every chance it has, it is serving Bhagavan. Therefore, it's called Haridasa Varyo, the greatest servant. The greatest Bhagavata is this Govardhana Parvat, and it is so blessed to get the footprints of Bhagavan as Bhagavan is walking on Govardhana Parvat and he is playing the flute. Bhagavan is dancing and playing the flute at the same time. Bhagavan, as he is Akila Kala Guru, is the master of all arts. So he is singing and playing the flute, and with his eyes he's making beautiful gestures, and the feet are moving to keep pace with the flute, and his neck is moving to make beautiful, graceful dancing movements, and his beautiful eyes are revealing lovely expressions. So with the hands, with the eyes, with the neck, with the beautiful waist, Bhagavan stands in a curved manner. He's called Tede Thakurji, as he has three curves in his body. So with beautiful form, Bhagavan is playing the flute and immersing all the people in a state of bliss. And this way, Bhagopakairanuvanam Nayadorudara Venuswanai Kalapadais Tanubritsu Sakya Aspandanam Gatimadam Pulakastarunam Niryoga Pashakrita Lakshanayor Vichitram Aspandam Gatimatam Pulakastarunam. All the mobile creatures, they became motionless, and all the motionless creatures as though became as though are revealing their horripilation. So the immobile creatures like the trees, they are showing signs of emotion by the so much nectar that is released from their flowers. And the mobile creatures like the rivers are all there. They are standing still, the birds are standing still, the deer are standing still. Like this, there is a transformation in the minds of all the people as they hear the beautiful Venu Geetam from Bhagavan. This way, Bhagavan gave joy to all the people. Evam vida bhagavado ya vrindavanacharinaha वर्णयन्त्यो मितो गोप्यः क्रीडास्तन्मयतां ययुः. The gopis, their minds became tanmayam in Bhagavan. Their minds were totally absorbed in Bhagavan as they sang and they witnessed the Venuganam of Bhagavan. Thus ends chapter 21. Now we come to the next Leela. It is called Chir Haran Leela. Bhagavan stealing the clothes of the gopis. This is the chapter number 22. Shri Shuka Uvacha Hemante Prathame Masi Nandavraja Kumarikaha Cherur Havishyam Bunjanaha Katyayanyarchana Vratam Aplutyambasi Kalindya Jalante Chodite Rune Krita Pratikritim Devi Anarchurnarpasaikatim गन्धैर्माल्यैः सुरभिभिः बलिभिर्धूपदीपकैः उच्चावचैश्चोपहारैः प्रवालफलतण्डुलैः कात्यायनि महामाये महायोगिन्यदेश्वरी नन्दगोपसुतं देवी पतिं मे कुरुते नमः इति मन्त्रं जपन्त्यस्ताः Pujam Shakruk Kumarikaha. All the gopis in the beginning of winter, Hemanta Ritu, all the maidens of Vraja, they observed the Katyayani Vrata. They all woke up early in the morning before sunrise and they prepared food and they took flowers and garlands and sandal paste and incense and all puja items, and they went to the river. They made a sand image of Mother Katyayani and they worshipped her and prayed to her that may their minds be fixed on Bhagavan and may Krishna be their husband. Like this, they prayed to Mother Katyayani and they observed this vrata for 1 month. And so one day, as usual, they kept their clothes on the river bank and they all went to have bath in the river. And they were sporting happily with each other and they were singing songs. At that time, Bhagavan, they did not expect, but somehow Bhagavan suddenly appeared in that spot. Bhagavan Sadavi Pretya Krishno Yogeshwareshwaraha Payaschairavritastattra Gatastat Karma Siddhaye. Bhagavan went to that very spot that day to bless the girls and to bestow the fruits of their rites. And Bhagavan quickly collected all the clothes of the gopis and he went up on a tree and sat. And then he called the gopis, say, each gopi you come and collect your own clothes. The gopis were shocked. They did not expect Bhagavan would come. And so the gopis did not know what to do. They were very shy and embarrassed that this happened. And so the gopis tried to beg to Krishna, says, please give us back our clothes. Krishna says, each one of you has to come up and receive clothes. And so this chapter is beautifully narrated in Narayaniyam. Madanatura cheta swanvaham bhavadangri dvayadasya kamyaya yamuna tatasim nisaikati taralaksho girijam samarchichan. They all prayed to Katyayani Mata, says Narayana Bhattadri. And then as the gopis finished the worship and they are having their bath, Bhagavan has taken their clothes and climbed up a tree. And so the gopis are pleading to Bhagavan, Ihatavadupetyani yada vasanam va sudrusho yatha yatham iti narma mridusmede tvayi burvati vyamuhe vadu janahi. The girls got confused. They didn't know what to say. Then they are pleading with Krishna. Aiji vachiram kishora नस्तवदासीरवशी करोषि किं प्रदिशाम्बरमम्बुजे क्षणेति उदितस्त्वं स्मितमेव दत्तवान्. Why do you tease us like this, Krishna? Please give us back our clothes. Like this, they are begging. Krishna merely smiled. He didn't do it. Adiruhya tatam kritanjalihi parishuddha swagati nirikshataha vasananyakhilanyugraham punarevam giramapyadamuda. Then slowly the girls came up on the bank, and with joined palms they did pranam to Bhagavan. And when Bhagavan saw they are pure, their vrata has attained siddhi, their worship has borne fruit. Bhagavan is telling it was improper to take bath in the river without clothes, and therefore I had to take away your clothes. Here you may all have your clothes back. So the gopis, being so innocent and having full faith in Bhagavan, they come and do pranam to him, and they each receive back their clothes, and Bhagavan blesses them and says, I fully understand what wish you have in your hearts. Your wish shall be fulfilled, and you will have my company in the moonlit nights in the forest of Vrindavana. We shall perform Rasa Leela. Like this, Bhagavan bless them. So, Namaya Veshita Dhyam Kama Kamaya Kalpade Bharjita Kwadita Dana Prayo Vijaya Nirshyate. And Sankalpo Vidita Sadhyo Bhavati Namadarchanam Mayanumodida So Satto Bhavitumarhati. I have understood what you have in mind. Your wish shall be fulfilled very soon, said Bhagavan. And then Bhagavan said one important thing. Kama, which is directed towards Bhagavan, will not end in this Prakrita Kama, that worldly Kama is not the result. When the Kama is directed towards Bhagavan, it will not result in sense pleasure that the worldly people know. This is aprakrita kama, this is divine prema. And so Bhagavan is telling, Namaya Veshita Dhyam Kama Kamaya Kalpade Bharjita Kwatita Dana Prayo Bijaya Nirshade. The passion directed towards me will not end in sense pleasure. Just as a grain which is already boiled or fried, it will not germinate again. Like that, the karma that is directed to me will totally eradicate the worldly karma. So, association with Bhagavan will destroy the worldly karma. And so, when we bow down to Bhagavan, our karma will be turned into prema to Bhagavan. So Bhagavan beautifully gives lessons to the gopis. Yata balavrajam siddha mayema ramsya takshapaha yadudishya vradamidam cheruraryarchanam satihi. Bhagavan calls them satihi. They are so they are called the paragons of virtue. They are so virtuous. Why? Because they love Bhagavan. As we are all Jivatma, it is Bhagavan who is our true consort. When the Jiva truly loves Bhagavan and has surrendered to Bhagavan, that Jiva is the most blessed Jiva, and he is the paragon of virtue. So that gopis who have given their hearts to Bhagavan, who is the real husband for all of us, that gopis, Bhagavan is very pleased with them and he calls them Sati. Having love for a worldly husband who is, a worldly person, it's not really the highest dharma, but the gopis have that love to Bhagavan himself. So Bhagavan says, you are the most virtuous girls, and saying like this, Bhagavan bless them. Another way to also look at this episode is in an adhyatmic way. It is said that the clothes represent all the Ajnana Vritti in us, like Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha, all these Ajnana Vrittis that are covering us and block our spiritual progress. Bhagavan, by removing the clothes, is removing all the Ajnana Vritti and making us closer to him. And so it is also to be taken in that way as a lesson to remove all the 8 types of Ajnana, like hatred, fear, shame, raga, dvesha, pride, vanity. All these are the vrittis that block our union with Bhagavan. So Bhagavan, by removing that avarana, which were represented by the clothes, he made the gopis ready to receive him in Rasa Panchadhyay, which we will see. So that is the another lesson to be taken away from this chapter. Every leela that Bhagavan does, it is it's not just a silly prank of a young boy, but everything has so much tattva hidden in it. So the gopis were blessed by Bhagavan like this. Then Bhagavan and the gopas continue to roam around in the forest, and Bhagavan looks at the trees and remarks that these trees are doing selfless seva to all the people by giving so much fruits and flowers and shade for all the travelers. Look at the trees, they bear the wind and rain and heat, and but they protect us by giving shade and giving us fruits and flowers. And so the trees are always living for the sake of others. Look how selfless the trees are. Like this, Bhagavan remarks about the greatness of trees. Pashataitan mahabhagan pararthaikanta jivitan patavarshata pahiman sahanto varayantinah aho yesham varam janma sarva pranyupajivanam sujanasye yesham vai vimukhayantinarthinah. They fulfill the wants of men and other creatures by giving timely food. So such a birth is very blessed, says Bhagavan about the trees. And then Bhagavan again continues to tend the cattle, and then it became evening and they all come home. Thus ends chapter number 22. Now we see a beautiful episode, Bhagavan blessing the Vipra Patnis, the blessing of the pious Brahmana women. It's a very beautiful chapter number 23, and in Narayanyam it is chapter number 61. Atatrayovinshodhyayah Gopauchuh Rama Rama Mahavidya Krishna Dushta Nivarhana Esha Vaibhadati Kshunna Tachandim Kartumarhata Shri Shukavacha Niti Vijnapito Gopaihi Bhagavan Devaki Sutah Bhaktaya Viprabhadyaya Prasidan Nidamabravit. As the children are wandering in the forest, it's mid-afternoon and the children are very hungry today, and they say, Krishna, we are very, very hungry. Can you please say, tell us where to get some food? Then Bhagavan, the all-knowing one, says, not far from here, a group of Brahmanas are performing a yaga. You go and ask them for food, they will give you all types of food. So the children, they all come and try to tell the Brahmanas that Krishna Balram have come and they are hungry and we are all hungry and we hope you will give us some food. The Brahmanas, they heard the children, but they pretended as though they never heard and they kept quiet. Dikshaya Pashu Samstaya Sautramanyascha Sattamaha Anyatra Dikshitasyapi Nanam Ashnan hi dushyati iti te Bhagavat Yachnyam Shinvantopi na shushruvu Chudrasha bhuvi karmano Balisha vriddhamanina. Even though the Brahmanas heard, they pretended that they didn't hear because they were very good in performing the rituals, but they did not have bhakti to Bhagavan. They were only doing all the karma to get heavenly enjoyment. And they were very silly and childish in outlook. And so they did not, when Krishna Bhagavan himself has come asking for food, and this was a chance to really serve Bhagavan directly, the Brahmanas, they failed to see the blessed opportunity and they did not use it. And so they kept quiet. The children just simply went back and they told Krishna, we never got any food. The Brahmanas did not give us anything. Acha, Bhagavan said, go and ask the wives of the Brahmanas. They are very tender-hearted and they are very kind. They will surely give you food. So like that, Bhagavan sent them back. Gatva dapatti shalayam drishtva sina swalangritaha natva dvijasati gopaha prashita idam abruvan namo viprapatnibhyo nibodadavachamsinaha idu avidure charata krishne neheshita vayam. So the Gopas again went to the women's quarters in the beautiful Yagashala. There is a place where all the women are together and they are preparing various items, and these women are very auspicious looking and very well dressed, very well decorated, and doing pranams to them with humility. The children tell them, pranams to all of you, not far from here, Krishna Balram have come, and they are tending cattle nearby. They are all hungry, we are all hungry, and we came to ask you some food. The moment they heard Krishna Balram have come, the women's minds were filled with excitement, for they had been hearing about Krishna Balram from all the tribal women we saw in the last chapter, the flower sellers, fruit sellers, all the grain lady, all these people, they go from one village to another and they were telling these women about all the adventures Krishna Balram are doing in Braj. And so these Vipra Patnis have heard about all the beautiful episodes of Krishna Balram, they dancing on the Kaliya, killing Dhenukasura, killing Putana, killing Shakatasura, playing the flute, like all these lovely Leelas the women have heard and they have been waiting to see Bhagavan. And today it is the children are saying Bhagavan himself has come here and given you darshan. The moment they said like this, the women, they ran to Bhagavan taking all kinds of food. Chaturvidam bahugunam annam adaya bhajanaihi abhisasruhu priyam sarva samudramiva nimnagaha. They rushed to meet Bhagavan as the rivers rushed to the ocean, carrying with them 4 types of food, well cooked and well flavored. Nishidyamanaha patibihi bhratribihi bandhubihi sudaihi bhagavat uttama shloke diggashutartashaya. And what darshan did Bhagavan give them? Beautiful Bhagavan is standing holding a lotus in his hand, having beautiful peacock feather with a lovely smile on his face, and with another hand which is placed on the shoulder of his friend, and wearing beautiful Pitambara and Vaijayanti Mala and having a lovely smile. Bhagavan is standing with us, surrounded by other friends, and the women come running to Bhagavan and they get this darshan of Bhagavan. Yamunopavane Ashoka Navapallava Mandide Isharantam Ridam Gopaihi Sagrajam Dadrushu Striyaha Shyamam Hiranya Paridhim Panamalya Barha Dadu Pravala Nataveshamanuvratam Se Vinyasta Hastamiterena Dunanamabjam Karnotpalalaka Kapolamukabjahasam Prayaha Shutapriyatamodaya Karnapuraihi Yasmin Nimatna Manasaha Tamatakshirandraihi Andhra Pravesha Suchiram Parirabhyatapam Pratnyam Yadapi Madayo Vijahur Narendra. You saw beautiful Bhagavan with blue complexion, wearing golden colored pitambara, beautifully decorated with peacock feathers, with tender leaves and other, malas, and having beautiful face paints, and resting one hand on the shoulder of a friend, and with the other hand twirling a plain lotus with blue lilies on his ears, and with so much thick hair falling on his face and with smiling cheeks. And then for long they have been hearing about the Leelas of Bhagavan. So today they saw him, and they again drink his beauty with their eyes, and their heart is full of divine love that's coming. And as the aham will be destroyed and melt away when the Lord is in front of us, like that, their minds are filled with this blissful feeling, and so they have the great anandam. And Bhagavan immediately saw them and he blessed them, saying, "Welcome, welcome. Swagatam, you have come here. Swagatam vo mahabhaga asyadam karavamahim yanno didrikshaya prapta upapannamidam hivaha." Lovely Bhagavan is telling, "Swagatam, welcome, welcome. Please take your seats. What shall I do for you? That you have come to see us, you are indeed very blessed." And so the women say, "Please take us with you. Please do not make us go back to our households. Our husbands will not accept us anymore like this. Please take us with you, Bhagavan." And Bhagavan, so the women are begging, "Patnya uchuhu maibam vibhorhati bhavan gatitum rashamsam satyam kurushva nigamam tava padamulam prapta vayam tulasidama padavasrishtam केशैर्निवोढुमतिलङ्घ्य समस्तबन्धून् गृह्णन्ति नो न पदयः पितरौ सुता वा न भ्रातृबन्धुसुहृदः कुत एव चान्ये तस्मात् भवत्प्रपदयो पतिरात्मनाम्नो नान्या भवेत् गतिररिन्दम तद्विदेहि. Oh, all-pervading Bhagavan, Maivam vibhorhadi bhavan tatitum drishamsam. Please do not reject us, Krishna. We have left our households and we have come to you. Do not be so merciless to us, Krishna. Before all the relatives, they try to stop us, but overcoming all obstructions, we have come to you, Bhagavan. Please do not make us go back. Let us have a chance to serve you, and let us have a chance to be with you. Like this, let us have the Tulasi mala that you wear and that you put away. Let us have those Tulasi malas so that maybe also have some bhakti for you. Please fulfill your promise, Krishna, that you say you will accept all devotees who come and surrender to you. Please fulfill that promise, Krishna. Please accept us. Our family will not take us back since we did not listen to them. We brought all the food for you without listening to our husbands. So now they will not take us back. Please, Krishna, please bless us. Please let us go with you. Like this, the women are doing pranams to Bhagavan and asking him to bless them. So Bhagavan said, "You will not be blamed by your family anymore. You go back and engage your mind and in my remembrance, and by constant remembrance you will soon attain me." Like this, Bhagavan told them to have his smarana always. Patayo nabhya suyeran pitrabhratra sudadayah lokashavo mayopeta deva apyanumanvate na piritaye anuragaya hyanga sango nranamiha tanmano mayi yunjana achidanvamavapsyatha. You will attain me very soon. Keep your mind fixed on me always. Like this, Bhagavan told them to go back. Now the women came back. Tatraiga vidrita bhartra bhagavantam yadashudam kritopaguhya vijahav teham karmanuvandanam. However, there was one woman who was stopped by her husband very cruelly, and she, however, with intense grief of separation, she meditated on the Lord in her heart, and by that intense dhyana, she was able to drop this human body, which is a product of karma, and she attained union with Bhagavan immediately, and she reached him. So all the other women, they came back, and their husbands, when they heard about all this, they were so surprised, and their respect for their wives grew, and they are telling, what is the use of learning? What is the use of tapas? What is the use of being born in a Brahmana family and chanting the Vedas? What is the use of all this if there is no love and devotion to Sri Hari? दृष्ट्वा स्त्रीणां भगवति कृष्णे भक्तिम् अलौकिकीम् आत्मानं च तया हीनम् अनुतप्ता व्यगर्हयन् दिग्जन्मनस्त्रिवृद्विद्यां दिग्भ्रदं दिग्बहुज्ञदां दिक्कुलं दिक्क्रियादाक्षं विमुखाये त्वदोक्षजे. What is the use of being very skillful in performing yagas? What is the use of all the austerity and learning if there is no devotion to Sri Hari? So they were very feeling very bad about themselves and repenting that they did not run and go to Krishna. They say, we are indeed blessed, they say, because our wives have devotion. Aho vayam dhanyatama yesham nastadrishi striyah bhaktya yasa matirjata asmakam nischala harau. But in another sense, we too are fortunate, say the husbands, saying our wives are women of this caliber, that they have so much devotion to Sri Hari. Because of their devotion, we also have got bhakti to Sri Hari now. It is very important that the women in the house be devotees. Why? When the woman is a devotee, the whole family will become bhaktas. Why? Because the woman is doing all the work in the household. She's preparing the food, and the family eats the food. They also get devotion slowly. So it is important for at least the woman to have devotion in the family, says Acharyas. So the aho vayam dhanyatama yesham nastadrishi striyah bhaktya yasa matirjata asmakam nischalaharau namastubhyam bhagavade krishnaya kuntamedase janmaya mohitadiyo brahmama Karmavartmasu. We bow down to the Lord, and we are bound by his Maya, and we could not run to get his darshan. Let the Lord forgive us, please. Like this, the Brahmanas also bow down to Bhagavan and get his blessings. And then, beautiful episode of blessing the Vipra Patni was described there. Now we come to the next portion. It is the obstruction of Indra Yaga. This is chapter number 24 in Bhagavatam. Sri Shukauvacha Bhagavan api tatraiva Baladevena samyutaha Pashan nivasan gopan Indra Yaga krutodhyaman Tadabhitnyopi Bhagavan Sarvatma Sarvadarshana Rashaya Vanato Prichade Riddhananda Purogaman. So Bhagavan is one day staying in Vrindavana as usual. He saw all the Gopas. I'm very busy making some preparations for a grand sacrifice to Indra. The all-knowing Bhagavan, he knows, but yet he is asking Nandagopa, what are you doing, Appa? Why are all the elders so busy today? What is happening? And so Nandagopa is telling, the Lord of Rain is Indra, and it is by his blessing that we get timely rain, and because we get rain, we get all the food, and we are able to make our living like this. And so once a year we perform a yaga to Indra and offering all the articles we get because of that rain and offer that back to him. So we perform a yaga to Indra once a year. So we are doing preparations for it like this. Nanda Gopa is telling Bhagavan. Then Bhagavan is telling Karmana jayate jantuhu karmanaiva viliyate sukam dukkam vayam kshemam karmanaiva vipadyate. It is the karma of living beings that bring rain, that bring all the enjoyments. It's karma that regulates the attainments of a jiva. Asti chedishwara kaschit phalarupyanya karmana bhaktaram bhadate sopi nahya hartuhu praburhisaha. Because of karma only we get all the sukha and dukkha, says Bhagavan. If you say there is an Ishvara who gives the phala, karma phala, then the Ishvara will give karma phala based on the karma that the jiva has done. If jiva did no karma, Bhagavan cannot grant a result. So even then it is the karma that is bringing all the results for the jiva. What work is Indra doing here? Himindre neha bhutana swasva karmanuvartina anishe nanyata kartum swavaha vihitam rana. The creatures are subject to their karma. Of what use is Indra? Indra is not able to undo the effect of past karma. Indra cannot do that. Jiva has to endure the effect of the karma unless there is a grace of Mahan who can bless us. And so otherwise all the jivas have to endure their karma, says Bhagavan. Bhagavan actually wishes to teach Indra a lesson. So he is telling Nandagopa, the yaga should not be performed for Indra. You should recognize who is your true Devata. When Bhagavan has been born in the house, and when Bhagavan is the one protecting them from all dangers, as we saw before, why should they serve another deity? It is Guru Ayappan who is born here and is protecting them. He protected them from Putana, he protected them from Chakatasura, he protected them from Trinavata, he protected them from Venukasura, Pralambasura, Bakasura, Vatsasura, Agasura, and from forest fire, from poison of Kaliya. So many instances. Who protected them? Bhagavan. Then why are they doing yaga to Indra? What did Indra do? So without telling directly like that, Bhagavan is telling you should recognize the deity who is really protecting you and worship that deity. Otherwise, it is like an unfaithful woman, who entertains a lover. Like this, Bhagavan is giving lesson to Nandagopa, is telling, Aji Vyekataram Bhavam Yastvanyam Upajivati Na Tasmad Vindade Kshemam Jaro Jaram Narya Sati Yada Parteta Brahmana Vipro Rajanyo Rakshaya Bhuvaha Vaishyastu Vataya Jivet Shudrastu Dvija Sevaya. Bhagavan is telling it is the duty of the Brahmanas to study Vedas, a Kshatriya to protect the country. The Vaishya, which we are all Vaishya, says Bhagavan in Nandagopa. It is our Varnashrama Dharma is to do trade and survive like that. And the Shudra is to do service to the Brahmanas. Like this, Bhagavan is telling Varnashrama Dharma. And then he's saying we are all Vaishyas. And our primary livelihood is to take care of cows. In the time when Bhagavan had incarnated, there were not even towns and villages. There was just one big forest. And there was just forests and forests everywhere. So it was only cow keeping was the main, livelihood for the people at that time. So Bhagavan is telling, we have to worship the cows, we have to worship the Brahmanas, and we will worship this Govardhan Parvat, which is granting all the needs for the cows. And so it is my opinion that we should perform yaga in honor of the cows. We should perform yaga and give respect and dana to Brahmanas, and we should worship this mountain Govardhana. Tasmat gavam Brahmanana Adrishchara Vyadamakah Ya Indrayaga Sambaraha Tairayam Sadhyatam Makaha. Very clearly, Bhagavan is telling there is no need to do yaga for Indra. Take all the ingredients you have gathered for Indra and then divert it to the Govardhana mountain and the cows and the Brahmanas. And this is my prepare all kind of eatables, various food preparations, starting from payasa to vada to all kind of rice varieties and lentils and grains and sweets and puri and kachori and all kind of food offerings. And then invite all the Brahmanas and perform the fire sacrifice and then arrange a feast for all the people